And I teach at BIA Charter School in North Cross, right outside of Atlanta. And I'm a third grade science and social studies teacher. I'm originally from Arkansas. I'm a certified teacher, of course. I have two wonderful sons, a husband, and I try to do a little bit of stand-up when I can. And I call myself an international educator. Okay, let's get started with an entry event. And the entry event is something that gets your attention, that gets you started with the PBL project. And let's see why we want to use PBL in our classroom.
What happens when teachers design projects that empower students with voice and choice? Students embrace a maker mindset. They define themselves as inventors and creators. They learn to take creative risks. Here they experiment and engage in iterative thinking. When this happens, they embrace a growth mindset and grow resilient. They become problem solvers and systems thinkers. They become divergent thinkers, thinking outside the box. They'll use creative constraint to find original uses for materials. Here they discover it's okay to be different. Often students embrace curiosity and wonder. They become explorers, seeking out new information and thinking critically. They grow more empathetic as they design meaningful products that they launch to the world. On an academic level, students are more engaged and the information sticks. There's often an increase in student achievement. Meanwhile, they learn key skills like project management, collaboration, and communication. True, these projects will prepare students for the creative economy, but more importantly, they empower students for a creative life. Here they see that making is magic. We know that there's a time crunch in schools. Materials can be scarce. Sometimes you're stuck with a tight curriculum map. But when you, as a teacher, empower your students with voice and choice, they become the makers who change the world.
Okay, so what stuck out the most for you with that? For me, I would say the fact that you're setting them up for life. I think that's one of the things that stood out for me. What stood out for you?
I would say two things stood out was one when they said the creative economy and magic. Depending on the age group, some of these students don't even know what the economy is, but as they continue with PBL and they start, you see that social studies get involved in the science and they're learning about money and how things grow. That's part of our economy on a daily basis. And also about magic, something that that they don't even realize when they're working. They'll say, oh wow, this happened, different things, and they'll see that spark. And how did that happen? Magic.
That's right. I like that too. I agree. So with that, we want to empower teachers. The driving question, the thing that we're always going to look back at when we are teaching students PBL is what the driving question would be. And our driving question for today is how do educators plan and facilitate PBL projects while staying the curriculum map course? What we do with that is we break it down. We break that down. What is PBL? These are the need to knows. I need to know what PBL is to answer that question. I need to know the difference in teaching and facilitating to be able to have a PBL project go on in my classroom. I need to know the difference in a curriculum map and a lesson plan. Okay, PBL is a novel or imaginative educational strategy. That was what Shukla said. Shukla and others, that was their definition. I added that it integrates all subjects because in our school, even though I teach science and social studies, my colleague teaches ELA and writing, and I have another colleague on my team who teaches math, and she only teaches math in her classroom. We still have to teach other things when we are integrated, okay? We can't be isolated, no man is an island. So the product of PBL, you will get long-term knowledge and collaboration, decision-making tools. And at the end, we know we want to know what's coming to the end, but we are not celebrating the outcome. We are actually celebrating doing the activity. While we do the activity, we learn the most. Okay, what is PBL and why should I use it? Let's look at this one and see. There are 5 reasons why.
New research shows that project-based learning boosts academic outcomes for all students, including historically marginalized ones. In fact, 2 recent university studies, funded by Lucas Education Research, a sister division of Edutopia, looked at over 6,000 students in 114 diverse schools across the nation, and concluded that students in project-based learning AP courses outperform their peers in traditional classes by 8 percentage points on the final AP exam. Elementary students in PBL science classes, meanwhile, outperform their peers by similar margins, with those gains holding across all reading levels. But why is PBL so effective? When students participating in the research designed real toys to test magnetic forces or argued actual Supreme Court cases, and they did both, they applied knowledge, worked through thorny issues, and iterated until they solved hard problems. Students who engage in this kind of authentic learning not only do as well as their peers on tests, but perform better when solving real-world problems and have more long-term success in school and in life. Students are more likely to persist through challenges when their learning has a greater sense of purpose. When students in the research groups created irrigation systems for a local farm, they translated their learning on academic topics like soil composition and ecosystem dynamics into meaningful outcomes. Taking part in a project that makes a difference in people's lives increases the motivation and the satisfaction derived from work. Project-based learning encourages students to show what they know in many different ways, from building models, to giving presentations, to drawing complex diagrams. And inviting experts in classrooms to provide feedback connects the work to new audiences, allowing students to demonstrate learning in ways that embrace their unique skill sets and extending their frame of reference beyond the school walls. Project-based learning is a team sport. When students work together to solve hard problems, they learn key social and emotional skills like teamwork, conflict resolution, and communication. Those vital skills are essential to success in school and the workplace. Students come to the classroom with different experiences, and project-based learning inherently relies on diverse perspectives to tackle problems. By valuing individual life experiences while supporting kids to work together, we create a culture of belonging, and students from all backgrounds are primed for success.
So what stood out for you on that one? Those 5?
I would say, allowing the students feeling like they have a purpose. I would say with PBL, students realize that they have different roles,
Mm-hmm.
they have different jobs, and whether it's their assignment or their voice matters. So if they believe something, or if they write it in a journal, say it out loud. Everybody is a building block to that end goal or the final project.
Okay, I like that. And when you said they have roles, that's why we do the team contract. So that everybody knows that they are a part of the team, they set up their rules and they abide by the rules. And just like that driving question, if they need to go back and look, what did I agree to? And even to the side, they can put what their role is. Am I the person who does the research? Am I the person who is responsible for setting up the slides, or whatever it is that they're doing? They can put it on their team contract. I also like the team sport aspect, because some children have not had a chance to work with other people like that. And so they get a chance to when you are using PBL in your classroom, because you have a captive audience right there. Their parents don't have to do anything extra for them to be a part of that team. So what is the difference in facilitation and teaching? With teaching, you implement a series of activities over a course of time. You're assessing them. You teach them something and then you assess it with a pen and paper traditionally. You teach by having children sit and listen and get facts, and sometimes they only regurgitate those facts. They don't really learn it. But when you facilitate and you stand back and you allow them to do things and talk to their peers, if they don't understand something, they talk to someone else and they talk through it. You stand back and you watch and you guide. That's a facilitator. A facilitator guides a person toward the end goal, but you allow them to get there by themselves, or like you use GPS to get to Walmart. The Walmart is over there, but this person may decide to stop at McDonald's. Somebody else may decide to go pick up someone else to go with them. Everybody's going along their own way, but they'll all get to the same Walmart, you know? Everybody has the autonomy to do it as they want. And we can't do it all in one day. That is why we use the calendar. And I say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So we use the project calendar, and it is a 10-week calendar. You can add more, but this one helps the student to see when we need to be finished with our project, when we're starting, and every day they add what they did, what they were able to accomplish. And they can kind of look at it and say, oh man, we have to get here by this time. We're not moving fast enough, or we haven't done these things, or down, on the back of the notes, we have planned to do something that has not occurred yet. So the calendar is very important, which brings me to the next thing. If the student's calendar is important, what do we think about our own calendar? It is very important. And that is the curriculum map and our lesson plan. The curriculum map shows a broad explanation of the whole year. If you're teaching other subjects, you have got to organize that, and you know that I have to cover all these standards. These are the standards that I have to cover. At the bottom, below those standards, I know that I want to do this in units. Use the PBL for that unit. If you're going to do a math unit, our next PBL is the fair. Going to the fair. And the students have to decide on how the economy and how feasible it's going to be to move which of their huge Ferris wheels to a certain location and build it. Is it going to be more economical to use this one or that one? And they have to figure that up with the cost. And so to put science in that, we're going to use conservation, or see if we can use solar or hydraulic, hydro to power. How can we power it the most economic way? And so they're going to be doing a lot of things like that. And with writing, they will definitely have to write a paper about it. Everything we do, we involve a writing piece. Now, going back, when I say that the students are being facilitated. So with our pollution and conservation one, the students, the result of them doing this project right here that you see displayed, they came up with raising money and donating that money to a company called Follow to conserve the planet's marine and coastal ecosystems. And they were able to get one of these for each of our classrooms. Each third grade classroom has one of these, and you can get on the QR code. Anybody can get this, download the app, and follow the real turtle, the real sea turtle that this one represents. So we are really happy that the students did that. They came up with that on their own. I didn't even know that in the end we would do something like that. That could not have been my plan. And that's why you allow the students to be facilitated, be facilitated and not pushed toward doing something in particular. Now, the entry event, just like our entry event was a video because we are unable to do much more than that at this moment. Your entry event could be bringing someone in, as we did up here. We had an expert come in and speak. It could be taking the children somewhere. They went to the food pantry. Also, you could do a lab in your classroom as an opening event. You could show a video like I did, read a book, or show a movie. But you could also do all of them in 1 week. Make this big, that's the key to it. Make it big, make them excited about it. Oh wow, we're gonna do this. And then they'll get excited and you'll see parents will be saying, oh, Bobby told me that you're planning to do these different things in your classroom and he's so excited, so therefore we're excited. Is there anything we can help you with? Okay, so at the end, the students will tell you what their findings are. For example, when we did the food bank, a student said, I learned that people who use a food bank may not be homeless. Some of the students actually thought that everybody at the food bank didn't have a home, that they were living outside in a tent somewhere. And I told them, no, this could be temporary for the customer or the client. This could be something temporary for them, and they need something nutritious at this moment that they can't afford to buy for themselves. They also learned that there are some paper items that may have certain inks or dyes, like a pizza box has oil on it and it has paint and dye and ink on it. You may not want that to be in your plant compost bin. You don't want that to break down and then you put it with your food that you're going to eat. And so when we did the water, you may see plants on one of these. It has a plant where we put the celery stalk in, dyed the water with some food coloring, and the plant turned that color. So you have to be careful about what you put in your compost bin. And so the kids learned that. They were thinking, oh, it's paper and it decomposes quickly. We can use that, but not always. So a lot of things can come to light when you allow them to learn. Now, think about what you have learned or found interesting about PBL, about this PBL today, and you're able to use the QR code. That's the QR code right there. And also, I have another QR code. That's the glossary. This is uploaded. You're able to see this in the on the website, the Georgia Teachers and Science Teachers Association website. All of this is uploaded, and this is an extra science website. Just some extra information. Interactive science websites. Plant biology for all grade levels, plant science at Khan Academy, PBS educational plant resources. There's something for everybody here. Coding classes, all of these are lessons that can be downloaded and used in your classrooms. So just some extra things there. And let's go back. At this time, if you would like to do the gallery walk, I'm gonna also explain to you what we have on the table. Let me get to this slide just a moment. Okay, so this one is, I'll leave this here, what do you find interesting? And this slide is my contact slide, and how you can contact me. On the table here, we have the driving question. This is what you would need to put up on your wall in your classroom. And it's an example, it's already been filled out. To give you an example, we have the ELA standards down here, we have math standards, and we have science standards. So this incorporates everything that you would cover when you're teaching. And it's very useful. The entry event was that we watched a video about the environment and asked questions that led to the discussion. But then this can change. What did we really end up doing when we implemented it? I showed you, we went to a food bank. We actually were able to do more. We went to the food bank. So that was really interesting. Also, I have the PBL book is here, and you can see there are ready-made PBL projects here. On these tables, we have examples of student work. It's always exciting to see student work. I would like for you to answer what you like, what you wish you could see, and what you wonder about these. So just take about 2 minutes and enjoy that step. I'm going to get up mine. There's one more slide that I don't see here that I'm going to pull up. I don't know where it is. There it is, that one. So yes, that's the contact information for me. And do make sure you go into the booklet, at the front of the booklet, and tell what you liked. Use these codes that they put in here. And, okay. Is anybody ready with the I like, I wish, I wonder? Is anybody? This is how I do my rotations. So right down here, I will write what the activities are at the bottom. I'll write what the activities are that we're doing. And as you can see, I do use this is my actual chart that I use in class. And so for rotation 1, group A, the kids are like this. Actually, my tables are like this. I have A, B, and C. So group A will be doing something, group B will be doing something else, and then group C will be doing another activity. It could be a gizmos, it could be working on the PBL project. One group will be working on the PBL project, another group might be down the hall working on something else, or in the media center, library, looking at research on something. So it depends on what we're working on. I break them up and then we rotate, and I can do 20-minute rotations in my class. Now, on Fridays, I make sure that that's the day to get all of this done. If you didn't get time to finish something, then you and your group, that's what you're working on. It's just trying to get everything done. And then I'm facilitating. On Monday, I taught each group what they're doing. I try to take at least 10 minutes to try to teach the concept, and then it's off and rolling with, on Tuesday, we're doing this. Wednesday, we're doing this. Thursday, we're doing this. Friday is the day that they finish up, and as I said, Monday is the teaching day. The other days are the facilitating days. And it has worked out very well. Are there any questions? Okay, outside. So I conclude this session, if nobody has any questions. Thank you very much.